Tonight, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's the NFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. And the Minnesota Vikings versus Baker Mayfield and the LA Rams.
It seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello, everyone, as the postseason continues here. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. Cousins now to throw on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 73 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there? Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 50 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out, but I don't think there's any worries with this.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that, man. 1 play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent work.
And now this offense gets ready to take over the football, 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. And that is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 46 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player,
the Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur. I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on Divisional Round Weekend. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. A 1st down throw for Cousins. Throwing right, and that's complete. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
Okay, we need to double-check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try.
A leap, and he's got it. He got it. Touchdown. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are able to add on to their first-half lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past over.
So we are in the final minute now of the first half as this offense gets ready to take over. Cousins to throw it. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, They might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get us.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
On second down, it's Cook again. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup. They'll try the middle with Cook. And some nice running going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams' 42. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 42 yards. And the Vikings are pouring it on.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync. And the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 35 on second down, Cousins, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Cousins. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, but that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. but you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory.
125 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Down inside the 40.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Give to Cook out of the gun. And some nice running going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams 34. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
From the red zone now, Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both...
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round, and they look to book a spot in the conference championship. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Here's Cook again. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 170 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. He continues to be a major factor carrying the football here into the fourth quarter, Charles.
Another big gain on the ground. Big guys working strong up front. A lot of them not just taking care of business at the line of scrimmage, but getting into the linebacker spots and taking care of the second level as well.
And they're taking advantage of everything right now on the scoreboard with that lead.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.